Hi, I'm Jenny. Welcome to your Yin practice. We're going to be working with the hands in today's practice. So to begin, we're going to start in toes pose. I'll come to the side so you can see toes pose. You're going to curl all 5 of your toes underneath you and then bring the hips back towards the heels. If you'd like, you can take a blanket underneath your knees. You can take a block underneath your hips to lift the hips up. So for the majority of us, this is a very painful posture. For others, it's easy to sit as the soles of the feet open up. So take a few minutes to get comfortable. And then we'll move the attention to the hands. So gaze down at your fingertips. Bring the middle finger to cross over the pointer finger. Interlace the ring finger and the pinky. Bring the pointer, middle, and thumb to touch. And then open up the palms of the hands away from one another. And you've created a mudra. And this mudra represents energy. So taking the mudra anywhere along your spine and resting it in a place. And then begin to feel into the breath. Notice where the breath is at. If the breath is rapid or slow. And with a soft gaze at your fingertips, notice how the fingers are touching, the space between each finger, the space between the palms. The folds and the creases at the knuckles. And come back to a satisfying breath in and a supportive breath out. What kind of energy would you like to generate for your practice? We're bringing to life the intention through an energetic charge of the mudra, the posturing of our body, and the satisfaction and support of the breath. Begin by releasing the mudra. Let your hands come by your side. Continue to bring the gaze down to your fingertips. And just innately, the fingers will take a shape. Notice the shape they take. any sensations that accompany that shape. And I'm sure the feet are talking to you. We'll come out of the toes pose, coming forward into a tabletop. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me. Take a couple pitter patters with the feet. And then begin to make your way all the way down onto your belly. You can take a blanket to rest your cheek upon. Both hands are going to come down by your side. The palms are going to face the mat. You're going to lift your hips up and bring the pinkies to come to touch. It's a slight rotation of your cervical spine. A nice spreading of the shoulders away from the spine and the upper back. A heaviness through the lower body. And come back to a satisfying breath in and a supportive breath out. We're bringing length to the forearms, where the muscle belly of the hands reside. The forearm in the front, the forearm in the back help to bring flexion and extension through the fingertips. Satisfying breath in and supportive breath out. You're going to turn your gaze to the opposite direction. And come to rest on a satisfying breath in and a supportive breath out. In this posture, we're compressing and stressing the 27 bones in the hands and the wrists, the 29 joints, and the 123 ligaments. And all the soft and dense tissues. That circle and interweave and intertwine amongst those denser tissues. The ligaments, the tendons, and the bone. And then slowly begin to lift the hips up, bring the arms out, palms facing up, forehead down to the the blanket or the mat. And try to stay with the rebound of the pose. The sensations that accompany the release. Then you'll bring your arms out nice and wide. Bring the right arm to shoulder height, higher up by your ear or down by your hip. You're going to roll onto your right side body until you feel sensation across the front part of your chest, around your pec, deltoid, the cartilage that connects to your ribs, to your sternum. And then the left hand, the fingertips can either rest down on the mat, the palm can rest down on the mat. Bringing awareness to what the hand and the finger pads are touching. How are you connecting to the surface beneath you? So how would you handle life without your hands? They carry us through numerous tasks of the day. Oftentimes we forget about what powerful instruments the fingers and the thumb and the hands are. Supportive breath in, satisfying breath out. You'll roll back onto your belly, switching out the arms, bringing the left arm either up by your ear or down by your hip. Rolling over on the left side body until you feel a stretch across your pecs and your chest, maybe in between your ribs and the intercostal muscles. The right hand rests down on the earth, as does the left. How is the hand interacting with the surface beneath you? So are you clenching up? Are you pushing down? Are you fidgeting? There's power in the hands. They allow us to do mundane tasks. Starting our car, holding keys, a paintbrush. We can blow a kiss. We can hug a friend. most of our actions involve our hands. About 3 cycles of breath. Come back down onto your belly. Either rest the forehead on your blanket or on the palms of your hands. Let the rib cage rest on the mat. The front of the hips and the thighs. And you'll make your way up into your seat, and as you do so, notice how the hands assist you in the transition from one posture, one position to the next. Coming to your seat, we'll take shoelace pose. If you'd like to bring a blanket underneath your hips, please do so. Gaze back down at your fingers, crossing the middle finger over the pointer, interlacing ring and pinky. Ring finger, pointer, and thumb come to touch. Coming back to that posture of the hands that symbolizes and generates energy. Fold the body over your legs, rest your mudra where you like. And come to land on a satisfying breath in and a supportive breath out. Notice if the mind is following a distractive thought. And draw it back in by the touch of the fingers. The space between the fingers. Drop the hips a little deeper. Create space at the low back. Space in the outer hips. About 10 cycles of breath. Then you'll slowly lift up through the torso, release through your mudra. Notice if there's any sensation or pulsation. We have lots of nerve endings at the tips of our fingers that send direct stimulation to our mind, stimulating different parts of the mind. We'll take the left leg out wide. Turn the torso over your left leg and forward fold. The back of the thigh flattens out. If the knees are talking to you, roll up a blanket and bring them underneath your knee. And then press the palm of your hand flat on the earth. Lift up your index finger and lower it back down. Lift up your ring finger and lower it down. Continue with the ring finger and then the pinky. Going back the opposite direction, the pinky lifts, ring finger, middle finger, pointer, and thumb. So this simple exercise with the hands not only builds a bit more dexterity, awareness, flexibility through the palm, through the fingers. It translates to the flexibility and the agility that we can create in the mind. And then slowly make your way out. We'll come to a half shoelace on the opposite side. The right knee is going to cross on top. Coming into that mudra, interlacing the ring finger and pinky. Middle finger crosses over pointer. Thumb, middle finger and pointer come to touch. Fold your torso forward and come back to that generation of energy. The chest comes to rest on the thighs. The low back, the outer hips become spacious. And the hands become the control panel, conducting our energy signaling our intention. About 10 cycles of breath. And slowly make your way out. Release the mudra. Extend the right leg long, turn your torso over the right leg, and forward fold. Let the palms rest on the mat. If you notice that you're distracted, not present, then press the palms into the earth and work to strengthen the fingers by lifting one finger off the mat at a time. Is there a finger that's easier to lift, more difficult? Does your palm lift off when the finger lifts? How do you rest your finger down after each lift? Satisfying breath in and a supportive breath out. Slowly make your way out. You'll bring the leg in, come down onto your back. Come to lie on your back for broken wing. The left or right hand will come underneath the upper back. You'll roll onto your right side body and then bring the upper back and the hips back onto the mat. If this is too much, bring the palm closer down towards the hip. Supta Baddha Konasana, the soles of the feet come to touch. The right hand can come anywhere along the spine. Rest the load of the body onto the palm of the hand. A satisfying breath in and a supportive breath out. So how would you make it through your day without your hands? How many tasks and actions do they serve you with? You'll roll onto your side body, release through the left arm, palm facing up or right, depending on where you started. Bringing the opposite arm to the upper mid-back or lower down by your hip, and then rolling the weight back so the upper back and hips rest on the mat. Now each palm is doing a different action. Do you feel a subtle difference between the palm that's grounded down and the palm that's flipped up? One that's compressed and the one that has more space to move, more freedom. Satisfying breath in and supportive breath out. You'll roll onto your side body, releasing your opposite hand. And acupuncture the meridian lines. Some of them begin and end in the tips of our fingers. And each finger is related to an element or an organ. So when we stimulate the hand, we stimulate the entire body-mind. Now the legs will stretch out. I'll leave it up to you, with the hands resting open in an intuitive mudra or an intentional mudra, coming back to the mudra of energy. Interweaving ring finger and pinky, crossing the middle finger over the index and connecting the extended fingers. Resting the mudra anywhere along your spine, your chakra system. That nerve highway. And if you have the time, stay. Bringing the awareness to the power of the hands. Their ability to shape your experience. Generate energy. And help you become more present. Thank you for joining me in this yin practice. I look forward to seeing you in the next. With light, love, gratitude, and grace, Namaste.